Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Prerna, your host for the Annual Convention 2021 of Indian National Academy of Engineering, being held virtually in view of the ongoing pandemic which has affected and changed the whole world. On behalf of Professor Indraneel Manna, President, Indian National Academy of Engineering, we extend a very warm welcome to you to the inaugural function of the INAE Annual Convention 2021 being held online. May I request Professor Indraneel Manna, President, INAE, Dr. P.S. Goyal, former President, INAE, Professor Purnendu Ghosh, Vice President, INAE, Professor A.B. Pandit, Vice President, INAE, Professor Suman Chakrabarti, Vice President, INAE, Professor K. Bhanu Sankara Rao, Chief Editor of Publications, and Lieutenant Colonel Shobhit Rai, retired, Deputy Executive Director, INAE, to please come to the dais. A very warm and hearty welcome to all. Kindly keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You may please be seated. It is also my pleasure to welcome the chief guest, Mr. N.R. Narayan Murthy, founder, Infosys, Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering, who has kindly consented to be chief guest of INAE Annual Convention, who joins us virtually. May I now request the dignitaries present on the dais to please light the ceremonial lamp. शुभम करोति कल्याणम आरोग्यम धना संपदा शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशया दीपा ज्योतिर्नमस्ते. I fold my hands before the light that brings prosperity, auspiciousness, good health, abundance of wealth, and destruction of the enemy's intellect. Thank you, gentlemen. You may please be seated. It is my pleasure to give a brief introduction of Professor Indraneel Manna, President, INAE, and invite him to deliver the presidential address. Professor Indraneel Manna, President, INAE, and a J.C. Bose Fellow of DST, is currently the Vice Chancellor of BIT Mishra. He obtained his B. Engineering degree from Calcutta University, BE College in 1983, M.Tech from IIT Kanpur in 1984, and PhD from IIT Kharagpur in 1990. He was a Premchand Roychand Scholar 1992 and a Muat Medal awardee 1999 of Calcutta University. He is an educationist and materials engineer with wide-ranging research interests covering phase transformation, structure property correlation, and modeling in nanometric metals and ceramics, laser, plasma-assisted surface engineering, nano and ferro fluid and magnetic steel. He studies on amorphous aluminium alloys, laser surface engineering, boundary diffusion control phase transformations, and thermal and magnetic properties of nano and ferrofluids are highly cited. As a guest scientist, he visited different renowned institutions and universities abroad. He is a fellow of all the National Academies of Science and Engineering in India. He was honored as a distinguished alumnus by IIEST Shivpur and IIT Kharagpur. He is a recipient of the World Academy of Sciences TWAS Prize for Engineering Sciences 2014 and was elected a Fellow of TWAS 2015. He is also a member of the Asia Pacific Academy of Materials. He received the MRSI Medal in 2000, Binani Gold Medal in 1999, and GD Birla Gold Medal in 2008 of IIM, AICTE Career Award for Young Teachers in 1995, and INSA Medal for Young Scientists in 1992. He was felicitated by the Ministry of Steel with the Young Metallurgist in 1991, Metallurgist of the Year 2002, and National Metallurgist Award in 2018. He served as the Director of CSIR, CGCRI in Kolkata during 2010 to 12 and of IIT Kanpur during 2012 to 2017. He was the National Coordinator of a unique technology development initiative of MHRD called Impacting Research, Innovation and Technology, IMPRINT. He is a former President of the Indian Institute of Metals. Professor Indraneel Manna was elected as President INAE with effect from January 1, 2021. May I now request Professor Indraneel Manna, President INAE, to please deliver the presidential address.
Respected Mr. Inad Narayanmurthy, the Chief Guest of the inaugural function of the Annual Convention of INAE, former Presidents, Fellows, Young Associates, and awardees of Indian National Academy of Engineering, peers in the engineering and technology profession, members of the press, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the annual convention of Indian National Academy of Engineering.
At this point, I would first like to record my deepest gratitude to INAE Governing Council for electing me and reposing faith on me for heading the INAE as its 14th president. We all are aware that INAE was founded as a society, autonomous body, on 20th April 1987. On 11th April 1988, INAE was formally inaugurated by the then Prime Minister. We receive nearly 90% of our grant from the Department of Science and Technology. INAE comprises the most distinguished engineering professionals in India from academia, R&D, strategic sectors, and industry, and acts as the apex body to create policy, strategy, action plan for comprehensive solution in the field of engineering and technology. The fellows to INAE are elected by a very rigorous three-stage peer review process, primarily on the basis of their personal achievements in engineering and technology. As in 2021, we have 901 fellows from India and 91 fellows from various foreign countries, distributed in 10 engineering sections. INAE was headed in the past by stalwarts like former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Dr. Anil Kakodkar, former Chairman AEC, and Dr. Kasturi Rangan, former Chairman ISRO. INAE represents India in the international forum called International Council of Academies of Engineering and Technological Sciences, CATES. INAE maintains joint consultative committees with the Department of Science and Technology, Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, DRDO, ISRO, CSIR, and so on. We award Engineering Excellence Awards to the most deserving candidates in various categories. In fact, later part of the day you will hear the awardees this year. We also choose INE young engineers who are inducted as young associates and even promising student members in various categories. In order to promote engineering excellence, INE has tied up with All India Council of Technical Education for mentoring students and teachers. INE wishes to promote translational research in engineering through Abdul Kalam National Fellowship, created in collaboration with DST and ACRT. We have 4 annual flagship events, starting with the Frontiers of Engineering and ending with the annual convention as on today. At this point, let me present before you some of the major activities carried out by INE in this calendar year. All of you are aware that Government of India launched Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to celebrate the Diamond Jubilee of India's independence. This was announced on 12th March 2021 with an aim to celebrate 75-week-long celebration to end on 15th August 2022. INE created a task force under the chairmanship of Professor Krishna. There are a number of activities planned. The most important of these is our initiative to publish a compendium of the most significant engineering and technological achievements of India since independence, and also another compendium on women engineers in India. On our 35th Foundation Day, held on 20th April 2021, we had a special meeting wherein the Secretary DST, Professor Ashutosh Sharma, addressed as the chief guest, PKN Vyas, Secretary Atomic Energy, Dr. Satish Reddy, Secretary Defense, Sri S. Somnath, Director VSSC, and Dr. Shekhar Mande, DGCSIR and Secretary DSIR, addressed on this special theme of engineering excellence related to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. We organized the 4th workshop with the National Academy of Engineering, Korea, on June 14th and 15th, and the themes chosen were aerospace engineering systems and aerodynamics, innovations for materials in aerospace industry, and additive manufacturing for aerospace industry. We have similar collaborative programs with various other international bodies around the world. As I said, one of the flagship events, the first one in our calendar year, is the National Frontiers of Engineering. This year, NATFO 2021 was celebrated on July 9-10 in collaboration with IIT Hyderabad. And the themes chosen for NATFO this year were artificial intelligence and machine learning, advanced materials and manufacturing technologies, infrastructure and unconventional energy, and rural technology and entrepreneurship. Alongside, we also organized Innovation in Manufacturing Practices, IMP 2021, giving a platform to the engineering students to showcase their innovation as models, working models. So we received 150 entries, 24 were selected for showcasing, and we awarded 5 prizes. One of our most eminent fellows unfortunately passed away, Dr. Radham Narasimha, a pioneering figure in aerospace engineering in India. In his fond memory, the Bangalore chapter instituted Radham Narasimha Memorial Lecture, and the first lecture
was delivered by Professor K.R. Srinivasan, Distinguished Professor, New York University, and a former student of Professor Narasimha on July 20, 2021, his birthday. The session was actually inaugurated by Mrs. Nilima Narasimha, wife of Professor Rodham Narasimha. I mentioned that Inae is a very active member to CATES, the International Council. This year, the meeting was held on September 21 to 23. Professor Rangan Banerjee was one of the panelists from India in the session 1 on energy demand trends. Mr. N. Sai Baba, former chairman and chief executive of Nuclear Fuel Complex, participated in session 2 on the future of nuclear energy. Mr. Pradeep Chaturvedi and Professor S.S. Chakrabarti participated in the working group on cement industry and buildings. The Youth Conclave of Inae 2021 was held on 24th September. Dr. Pavan Goenka, former executive director and group president of Mahindra & Mahindra, was the chief guest. The 5 themes chosen were waste to wealth, digitization and revolution in logistics, engineering intervention to fight against COVID-19, teaching and learning during the pandemic, and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. A total of 164 teams registered for a contest, and 3 teams eventually emerged as winners. The next calendar event was Engineers Conclave 2021, which was held on October 26-27 this year in collaboration with International Solar Alliance. The 2 specific themes this year were engineering challenges for decarbonization of the Indian economy and achievements of Indian engineering as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. You are all aware that getting elected to the fellowship of Inae is perhaps one of the biggest aspirations and ambitions of all the engineering professionals in the country. And we go through a very rigorous process. So we received 143 new and 208 carried forward nominations, altogether 351. The sectional committee met, the 10 sectional committees met during May 11 through May 21 this year, shortlisted 109 nominations out of 351 and subjected them to peer review. Eventually, only 34 fellows were selected and 5 foreign fellows and 5 fellows selected under the special category of 37G. Out of these, 6 were women fellows. As I said, Inae is very keen to promote the culture of translational research, leading to knowledge converted to viable technology. Inae created a special fellowship in this regard called Abdul Kalam Technology Innovation National Fellowship in association with DST and operated through ACRB. 27 such fellows were selected until 2020, and this year we added 10 more. This fellowship requires a halfway review at the end of the 3rd year, and this review was held on July 6th this year, and 12 ongoing fellows were allowed to extend the fellowship for 2 more years. Apart from DRDO, DST, and many other agencies, Inae recently formed a consultative committee with Indian Space Research Organization, thanks to the special initiative taken by Dr. B.N. Suresh, our former president. The 2 themes which are chosen this year now for the immediate action plan are sensor technologies and materials research for aerospace. Inae has 8 different chapters spread throughout the country, and we wish to take this number to 12 or even more within a short while. In order to give more energy and action plan, we held a meeting with the local chapters and created a coordination forum. The meeting was held on 12th July. We created certain charter for the chapters to follow, including holding their annual meetings, elections, and so on. Inae also has created an easy pay card system which will allow seamless transaction of financial matters without having the chapters to go through the rigorous process of auditing and so on. The publications group of Inae is very active. We publish our own peer-reviewed journal called Transactions of the Inae. And this year, we are going to publish a special book on advanced structural material. Inae rewards the most successful engineering professionals at various age group and at various professional levels. They include the Lifetime Contribution Award, Professor Jai Krishna Memorial Award, Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Award, Outstanding Teacher Award, and newly introduced Inae Woman Engineer of the Year Award. We also select the most promising professionals in the young category and award Young Engineer Awards, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Award, and Innovative Student Project Award. So you have to hold your breath until the afternoon of today to get to know who the award is this year. Thanks to the generous help from the Department of Science and Technology, Inae now has its official position and location in the premise of DST itself. So we have been given an office on 2nd August this year, and on 25th August, this office premise was inaugurated in presence of the then Secretary DST, Professor Ashutosh Sharma. Inae also has signed a letter of intent with Science and Engineering Research Board, ACRB, to pursue certain action plans, and were granted 75 lakhs for the next 3 years to pursue specific activities like ACRB Inae Conclave on Atmanirbhar Technologies for Engineering Secured Future, ACRB Inae Women Engineers Program, ACRB Inae Outreach Program for the Northeast, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and ACRB Inae Innovation Hackathon. You're all aware that the country celebrates Engineers Day on 15th of September, coinciding with the birthday of Vishweshwaraya, one of the greatest engineers of the country. This year, we organized a panel discussion on closing research entrepreneurship gap. Dr. Anil Kakotkar, former president of Inae and former chairman of Atomic Energy Commission, delivered the keynote address, and he observed that the need of the hour is to conduct research leading to development of innovative technologies and products, and setting up of startup ventures and enterprises leading to self-reliance of the country in niche technology areas. The other panelists were Dr. Yadav Poundarik from IIT Ropar, Mr. Tanuj Jhunjhunwala from Plantis Technologies, Dr. Anua Nisal from CSR NCL, Mr. Akshay Singhal, Log9 Material Scientific Private Limited, and Mr. Tushar Vyas, CTO, Non-Clean Global Private Energy. So these majority of them were actually the past award winners of Inae Innovation and Entrepreneurship Award Scheme. The Calcutta chapter of Inae celebrated the Engineers Day by organizing a special lecture delivered by Ms. Susan Kathy Land, the present President and CEO of IEEE. The Bangalore chapter organized a similar function on the same day and organize special lectures. Inae also celebrated the Science Day coinciding with the birthday of Nobel laureate C.V. Raman. This year, the Science Day lecture was delivered by Professor David J. Wineland, Nobel laureate in Physics 2012, currently associated with the University of Oregon, and he spoke on individual atoms as clocks and bits. Inae, as I said, is very keen to pursue specific engineering targets and themes. One of them is nurturing frugal innovation. And this is now carried out in collaboration with National Innovation Foundation and is steered by Dr. Bhujanga Rao, Fellow of Inae. Inae is very keen to pursue a national level initiative to develop and design regional transport aircraft. The initiative started in 2016. Since then, Inae deliberated this theme in one of the engineering conclaves to create a special purpose vehicle, is in touch with Niti Aayog, has spoken to the DG CSIR and created a forum to consult various CSIR laboratories. We are in touch with the Principal Scientific Advisor's Office. We had 2 rounds of meetings with the Cabinet Secretary, and very recently we were privileged to meet Dr. Jiten Singh, Minister of State, Independent Charge, in charge of Ministry of Science and Technology. And we hope very soon this initiative will be on its way in collaboration with certain industries. In fact, we are in touch with 4 major industries involved in the aerospace sector. Inae is about to create a white paper on technological preparedness for dealing with national disruptions. This committee is chaired by Dr. P.S. Goel, former president. Inae also is now very keen to not only restore, but to sustain gender parity in our fellowship, in all our initiatives. So we have created a special committee who has now submitted its recommendation, because of which we have created 2 special committees to scout and search eligible candidates, potential candidates in 2 major disciplines, the mechanical engineering and electrical engineering areas. The digital platform of Inae has helped us to get going and conduct all our activities online during the last 1 year or more. And we are thankful to the committee headed by Mr. K. Anantkrishnan and Dr. Pradeep for steering Inae digital platform. And one of the major ambitions of this digital platform is to have a very functional Inae expert pool in the future. You're all aware that Inae is one of the youngest academies of the country. We have very little staff team, but the work pressure and charter of activities are increasing exponentially. Obviously, it poses a huge challenge. I must thank the Inae staff for carrying out all the activities of Inae during this calendar year very efficiently, despite the global threat of pandemic. If you just take a look at the current scenario, we'll all wonder as to how this could happen. 256 million people were affected worldwide. 5.1 million deaths occurred. Of course, 231 million recovered. In India alone, 3.4 crore people were affected, 4.6 lakh deaths happened, but 3.3 crore recovered. It all says that maybe such a pandemic creates a havoc once in 100 years. And we are testimony to this major disruption worldwide. Inae is very keen to come out and help the country put up a brave front and win the battle against this global threat. Thanks to the very major efforts of the Government of India in terms of social distancing, various tests, and countrywide vaccination drive, we probably are seeing the end of the pandemic, but that is not yet over. Only the situation is under control. This pandemic also has taught us to look at the current situation as glass half filled and not empty. So let us hope and pray that the good days are round the corner and we should be able to conduct not only the next annual convention, but all our activities in the coming calendar year in the physical mode. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. We shall now have the book release of the book titled Making of a Satellite Center, The Genesis of ISRO's U.R. Rao Satellite Center by Dr. Prem Shankar Goyal, Chairperson, National Innovation Foundation, former President, INAE, and former Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and Chairman, Earth Commission, and Director, ISRO Satellite Center, Bangalore. The book was published by Springer and tells the story of the evolution of the Satellite Center, which started from a small satellite system division in 1967 with a handful of engineers to a vibrant R&D center which is playing the lead role in the Indian satellite program. India's space program is unique as it is driven by societal applications. The ISRO Satellite Center, now known as the U.R. Rao Satellite Center, URSC, has evolved as a lead center for satellite technology over 5 decades and has developed state-of-the-art satellites for applications such as remote sensing, satellite communication, and space science. Through the story of URSC, the book describes the challenges of putting together new research and development centers and programs and conveys the importance of leadership and project management skills required to undertake such a task. May I now request the dignitaries on the dais to please release the book. Kindly keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen, as we release the book. Many, many congratulations. Thank you, gentlemen. You may please be seated. Thank you. I now request Dr. P.S. Goyal to say a few words on the occasion. Sir.
Good morning to you all. INA President Professor Manna, Vice Presidents, all the colleagues who have joined, fellows and various enthusiasts about the INA. First, let me thank INA, Professor Manna and the Governing Council for making this book release as a part of this function. This book is a history which was written over these 2-3 decades, 67 onwards. And I thought that it's important to capture that part of the history, because it's not just the history of the satellite center, it's the history of a culture, what we call ISRO. We all know that space program was started by Professor Sarabhai. He was a visionary. He had a lot of vision. Just to give you an example, you know, we all had a Pokhran 1 in 1975. I remember when I joined ISRO in 1970, and listened to him a few times, he was all the time insisting in various reviews that we must have SLV-3 launch in 1974. And of course, as you know, he was no more, he died in 71. But I could correlate maybe decades later. He was the only person common element between the atomic energy and space. So you can see he was not just a scientist doing cosmic ray, or a atomic energy person, but he had a larger vision when you correlate these two things. He was also worried about the national security. However, Professor Sarabhai is a visionary. The system, what we call ISRO, actually is given by Professor Dhawan. When you really say there is a culture, where there is a system, where there is a connectivity to the people, when you say application-driven program, of course the word used by Sarabhai himself, but implementing that, connecting space to the people. We are known in the world only for this part, that we are the only people in the world who have done space primarily for the civil and defense. Actually, we didn't even think of defense till year 1999, till Pokhran 1. No, sorry, till Kargil. Till that time, we never thought of space for defense. So it's the way we evolved. Every project when we started was conceived to do something new. Now, there are two things. One is a system of space as a total system, which is given by Professor Dhawan. But when we talk of a satellite or satellite center, there is one person. I remember when I joined ISRO, we were less than 10 people. And he had a vision of a big satellite center, and that was Professor Yadav. In fact, when you really see the way we have grown, nowhere in the world a person had such a strong will. And a strong will not only to have dream, but he shared that dream with so many of us. In fact, I can say very confidently today, if I have to name a person who has created leaders after him, it is either Professor Dhawan or Professor Yadav. Professor Yadav gave such a strong leadership. Every one of us was cultivated by him. How to do science, how to do management, how to have the outreach. In fact, to me, he even started telling, I used to speak very fast. And one day he called me, why do you speak so fast? And I started controlling my speech, whatever I am there today. But it's not just PS Goel alone. Dozens of us. And this is the story I thought I'll want to catch up. ISRO is not just making satellite. URS is not just making satellite. It's an institution which has created a value system for the society, and it has created a culture. And I hope that this particular message of culture, this message will go to our young people. So my intention of writing this book was that before the history gets lost, it's better reached to the people. I'll be very happy if the younger people read and try to imagine and try to inculcate some of that part in their own life. Again, I want to thank Inae for this gesture, for this something which overwhelms me. Thank you very much for all of you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. I'll now request Professor Indranil Manna, President INAE, to introduce our chief guest.
It is now my pleasant duty and privilege to introduce the chief guest of today's inaugural function of the INAE Annual Convention 2021, Mr. N.R. Narayan Murthy. Mr. Murthy founded Infosys in 1981. Infosys is today a highly innovative software services global company listed on New York Stock Exchange in the USA, Bombay Stock Exchange in Mumbai, and many other such places. Mr. Murthy conceptualized, articulated, and implemented the Global Delivery Model, GDM, which has become the backbone of the Indian software industry. GDM is based on collaborative distributed software development principles and has resulted in the delivery of superior quality software to global customers delivered on time and within budget. Mr. Murthy also introduced the concept of a 24-hour workday to the world. Under Mr. Murthy's leadership, Infosys became the leader in innovation, in technical, managerial, and leadership training, software technology, quality, productivity, customer focus, employee satisfaction, and physical and technological infrastructure. In 2014, Mr. Murthy was ranked the 13th among CNBC's 25 global business leaders and listed among the 12 greatest entrepreneurs of our time by Fortune in 2012. He received the Légion d'honneur from France, the CBE from Great Britain,
Padma Vibhushan and
Padma Shri from India. The Economist ranked him among the 10 most admired global business leaders in 2005. Mr. Murthy is ranked among the top 10 Financial Times list of business pioneers in technology, published in March 2015. He is the first Indian winner of the Ernst & Young's World Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Mr. Murthy was elected a member of the prestigious American Academy of Arts and Sciences in 2019. He is a foreign member of the US National Academy of Engineering and a fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, and has been conferred with the INE's Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering. He received the Founders Medal in 2018, the Hoover's Medal in 2012, and the Ernst Weber Medal in 2007, all from IEEE. He received Thomas Jefferson Medal
and James C. Morgan
Global Humanitarian Award. Currently, Mr. Murthy serves on the boards of Institute for Advanced Study at Princeton, New Jersey, the United Nations Foundation. He served on the boards of Ford Foundation in New York, HSBC, and Unilever in London. Mr. Murthy is a member of the advisory board of the University of Tokyo in Japan, ESSEC Business School in France, IESE Business School in Spain, FDC in Brazil. He is also a member of the Board of Governors and Trustees of the Asian Institute of Management, Manila. He has served as a member of the boards of various well-known universities in the US like Cornell University, Wharton School, the Graduate School of Business at Stanford University, and the Rhodes Trust in Oxford. He was a chairman of the IIM Ahmedabad and the Public Health Foundation of India. He has also served on the International Advisory Board of Yale University, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, William F. Archtmeyer Center for Global Leadership at the Tuck School of Business, Singapore Management University, INSEAD, France, Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, the Indian School of Business at Hyderabad, and the International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore. Mr. Murthy received DSc honoris causa from IIT Kanpur. He is also a trustee of the Infosys Science Foundation, which governs the Infosys Prize, an annual award to honor outstanding achievements of researchers and scientists across 6 different categories. Mr. Murthy takes pride in saying that he's a son of a teacher, and he believes that the teachers are the backbone of the society, and hence they should be well taken care of and respected. In fact, he endowed a very major fund at IIT Kanpur to promote research in computer science and engineering and instituted a chair professorship. So now I take great pleasure in inviting Mr. Inae Narayan Murthy to please deliver the inaugural address. Mr. Narayan Murthy, please.
Professor Indranil Mana, organizers, and guests. It is an immense pleasure and a huge honor to address this august audience of accomplished engineers of our country and from other countries. I'm not sure if I'm qualified to address this audience. I'm just an ordinary engineer, a little familiar with some quality engineering work at Infosys and with some governance experience of a few higher educational and research institutions in India and in advanced countries. My congratulations to Sri Chris Gopalakrishnan on receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. Chris was clearly the brightest amongst the 7 founders of Infosys. As a 23-year-old fresh postgraduate engineer from IIT Madras, in 1979, he led the design and implementation of India's first distributed process control system with about 150 D2A and A to D converters and digital inputs and digital outputs for controlling and improving the performance of 7 LD converters at the Rourkela steel plant. This was a pure Indian effort. He also designed an advanced knowledge management system at Infosys. He introduced the concept of knowledge currency to benefit both the creators and the users of knowledge artifacts in that system. It was a huge success. Congratulations to the new fellows from India and abroad. I see engineers from various disciplines here: civil, mechanical, electrical, aeronautical, electronics, metallurgical, chemical, computer science and engineering, material science, and several other branches. I studied electrical engineering in my undergraduate degree and obtained a smattering knowledge of computer science in my graduate degree. I wrote a basic interpreter in 1970 and was part of a 18-member team that developed a time-sharing operating system for handling air cargo in Europe. Since then, I have been a techno manager. I thought a little bit about what may be of common interest to all the assembled professionals from various disciplines of engineering. I have decided to speak on some of the cultural attributes that our young engineers must acquire to do impactful work to strengthen our country's prosperity. I want to speak on how they can create new hope new confidence, and new determination to perform and to create a new civilization that will take India to betterment. Most of my examples will come from the corporate sector. I do believe there are certain generic principles in these examples that are applicable to research institutions. My mind goes back to June 1962, when I sat for my first lecture as an undergraduate student at the National Institute of Engineering in Mysore. It was a welcome lecture delivered by the principal of the college to the freshman students. I was not yet fully 16 years old, but what he told me about 60 years ago, that day, is still fresh in my memory. He started his lecture with the adage, "What you do not measure, you cannot improve." He said it is very important for an engineer. He exhorted us to create a mindset to use measurement in everything we did, to focus on mathematics and learn simulation using mathematical modeling, to understand science and apply it to create new gadgets with our engineering knowledge, to understand the power of negative feedback, to realize the importance of improving work productivity in our country, and why project management was critical to the success of any team-oriented project. I internalized those ideas, and I have used them often while working in India and abroad. Today, I will speak about a few attributes that every engineer pursuing his or her profession in a corporation or doing research in a higher educational institution in India should focus on to become useful to our country and to our world. I will use some ideas proposed by Professor Richard Hamming of the Hamming Port fame in his book, The Art of Doing Science and Engineering. This book is about doing great work in science and engineering. Thanks to engineers like Vishwesharaya, Satish Dhawan, Sam Pitroda, Nanda Nilekani, Chidambaram, Swaminathan, Abdul Kalam, Kasturi Rangan, Krishna Ella, Sridharan, S.R. Valluri, and Rodham Narasimha, our country has made decent progress in atomic energy and nuclear plants, agricultural productivity, LCA, dams like Bhakranangal, our steel plants, space mission, green revolution, financial inclusion, our software industry, co-vaccine development, our metro system, and Marathika. However, our country is still in the initial stages of development. We have lots of work unfinished to fulfill the dreams of our founding fathers. We have several daunting challenges. The air in most of our cities is highly polluted. We have huge shortage of potable water. Our rivers are dirty. We are at the bottom of the PISA scale in the ranking of primary education system of various nations. Our public healthcare system needs much improvement. We are still far away from finding a solution to chikungunya and dengue. India ranks 101st among 116 nations in the Global Hunger Index. We discarded our effort to plan and control our population after the atrocities committed by Sanjay Gandhi's minions. Our huge population has become a liability. We have a long road ahead to embrace solar power significantly. We would do well to remember the words of President Roosevelt that the true test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much, but whether we provide enough for those who have too little. The need of the day is for this august audience to girdle their loins to find quick, innovative, and affordable solutions to these and other major problems that our country faces. What levers do we have to solve these serious problems? There are two. First is to create an environment of positivity, enthusiasm, and confidence among our young researchers and professionals. The second is to bring a competent, transparent, and accountable bureaucracy with a focus on the speed of action. Let me focus just on the first issue in this task. Creating an environment of positivity, enthusiasm, and confidence requires that we put focus on pursuing a certain style to do great work. What is style? According to Professor Hammack, style is working on the right problem at the right time, in the right way, in an environment that is conducive to such work. I will speak about the attributes of the style of work that I have seen in other countries that do great work in science and engineering. I will also use ideas from the impactful work that some bright youngsters did at Infosys. The first attribute is high aspiration. Scientists study the world as it is, ponder about its anomalies, discover the secrets behind these anomalies, and usher in new ideas and theories to explain them. The engineers apply these ideas to create a world that never was. Both these tasks require high aspiration. If Einstein did not have the aspiration as a schoolboy to catch up with light, the world would probably not have seen the theory of general relativity and PET scanners. If Niels Bohr as a young man had not aspired to unravel the secrets of quantum mechanics, engineers could not have invented lasers and DVDs. If Maxwell did not have the aspiration to unravel electromagnetic waves, we are not sure when the general theory of relativity and quantum mechanics would have seen the light of the day. Without Faraday's curiosity, this world would be a dark place today. If Alan Turing had not aspired to articulate his universal Turing machine, it is difficult to imagine ENIAC coming into existence, and the world would not have benefited from the ubiquity of computers. So the task of the eminent leaders assembled here is to accept that a plausible impossibility is better than a convincing possibility, embrace high aspirations, and pass them on to youngsters. One way of instilling high aspirations is to benchmark with the best global standards in not just the problems that we solve, but in the methods and the outcomes that we use. Such high aspirations will help you to create next practices, as my friend, late Professor C.K. Prahlad used to say. Our youngsters in India have to solve India's grand problems and not the problems of some Western and advanced countries. But we can adopt the methods of these advanced countries and improve the quality of outcomes that were obtained in these advanced countries. Those of you who are from the industry have to spend time with workers and supervisors in the pulpits, understand their bottlenecks, and remove them through your analytical work. Those of you who are researchers must spend time with industry folks, understand their bottlenecks, and use your research outcomes to overcome these bottlenecks. My own view is that every Indian company must be mandated to export at least 20% of its production to the developed countries. What this does is to improve our quality, our productivity, our costs, our features, and finally our competitiveness. The Indian customer will also benefit with this approach from Indian companies. Every engineering, higher education, and research institution must include Indian grand challenges in their research portfolio rather than trying to solve some obscure problems of the developed countries. For some strange reason, I do not see much enthusiasm in our higher educational institutions to solve all the problems of the Indian software industry. Please pardon me if I'm wrong. I am sure many corporate leaders from other sectors of our economy assembled here would probably feel the same way as I do. After all, the Indian software services companies contribute a gross annual export of about $180 billion US and a net export of at least $90 billion US, or about 30 to 35% of India's net foreign exchange earnings. Whenever I spoke to my academician friends about this, they would say that they do not see any worthwhile problems posed by the software services industry to solve. That is not really true. Any fast-growing, globally competitive company must have many critical problems trying for solutions. Let me mention two of the problems that we face very frequently during the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s when I was the executive chairman of Infosys. The first problem was to create models for predicting the performance of the yet-to-be-built bespoke software systems. There are several models for hardware performance evaluation. There are a few that predict the performance of large standard packages and systems. However, I have not come across a single piece of work on how to model yet-to-be-built bespoke software systems and predict their performance. Please pardon me if I'm wrong. Yet in the 90s and the early 2000s, every customer of Infosys made us guarantee a certain minimum response time for some critical transactions in the software systems that we were to build for them. We had to agree to this demand even though we had just made a short and perfunctory study of user requirements and had no detailed idea of the performance of the yet-to-be-built system before we submitted the proposal. To the best of my knowledge, this is a very tough research problem that has not yet been solved. If I am wrong, please pardon me. A few exceptions like Professor Pankaj Jalote and Professor Subraya showed that both these two people and Infosys had a whale of a time solving some very interesting software problems that whetted their research appetite and that benefited Infosys hugely. Now let me mention a second problem. Everybody knows that the biggest dissatisfaction of a software customer arises when there is a divergence between the requirement definition and the actual working of the developed software. Kurt Gödel proved that in every formal system, there will be statements that can be proved to be neither correct nor incorrect. So I agree that producing a formal requirement definition document that is complete and that has no inconsistency may simply be impossible. My suggestion is that our research institutions can work on developing a methodology to maximize the probability with which we can say that a certain requirement definition document is complete and that it has minimum inconsistencies in the requirement. This will add tremendous value to our software services companies. This is a grand research problem that will have value even if tackled for a limited set of operands and operators for requirement definition, even in a restricted domain. Courage is the second attribute. Remember the words of William Faulkner that you cannot swim to new horizons until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Losing sight of the shore and swimming to new horizons all alone is what research is all about. The responsibility for instilling courage in young engineering researchers to tackle grand challenges rests solely with their leaders. These leaders must lead by example to encourage, enthuse, and support youngsters to work on important and impactful problems. They must give them confidence. They must reduce bureaucratic friction to their work. They must not penalize them for any failures. They must be ready to share limelight with their young researchers. Open-mindedness is the third attribute that must be developed amongst our youngsters. We are a very thin-skinned nation. We see insults where none is met. We mistake disagreements on ideas to be disagreements between personalities. Western nations seem to be better in this than us. It is a good idea for our government to send about 10,000 competent youngsters with scholarships every year to do their doctorates in Western countries in various science and engineering areas. It will help these youngsters to compete with accomplished youngsters from advanced nations. It will also improve their confidence. It will also benefit them in learning the good aspects of these cultures. Independent thinking is the fourth attribute needed amongst our researchers in India. It is not much encouraged in India. This leads to inability to handle ambiguity. My academician friends tell me that barring a few higher educational institutions in India, the Western practice of the student identifying his thesis topic independently is not the rigor in India. I hope my friend is wrong. A successful US PhD holder of Indian origin told me that the toughest part of a US PhD is to decide on the topic. He also told me that the trick in deciding the topic is to choose a topic that is small enough to solve in 5 or 6 years, but big enough to give him or her a few papers and his or her PhD. One PhD student of Indian origin in the US told me that he could solve any problem if somebody defines it for him. We in the Indian software services industry have faced the same problem with our youngsters. Our customers would say that our youngsters are bright and hardworking, but they had to be told what they should do. Proactive problem definition is to be encouraged in India by our elders. I once heard a bright 23-year-old US consultant tell the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company in Boston about what was wrong with the CEO's company, convinced the CEO with data, told the CEO what needed to be done and how he would be able to do it. This is very rare amongst Indian youngsters. This is a critical and a cultural issue with India. Our higher educational institutions should take lead in developing independent and critical thinking. Self-belief is very important to solve grand problems. Self-belief comes from competence, hard work, discipline, detailing, and passion for excellence. Somehow, in a hierarchical culture like ours, I find that it is very difficult to develop this attribute amongst our youngsters. I attended a lecture by Yuri Gagarin long time ago. I asked him whether he was scared to be the first person to be cloistered in Sputnik and to be shot into the sky. He answered that he had spent enormous time with the designers of Sputnik, understood how it worked, he had checked all the controls himself, and had tremendous belief in himself and the designers of Sputnik. That is self-belief and self-confidence. That comes out of quality hard work. I once gave a young engineer at Infosys the task of reducing the runtime of a program from 8 hours to 45 minutes for a customer in Tokyo. He came back and said he had thought of the solution and was confident of solving it. I asked him what gave him that confidence. He said he was a software engineer. He had learned the details of how the relational databases and beastall trees work, and that this knowledge gave him his self-belief and confidence. Sure enough, he achieved his target. While I was the general manager at PCS in 1980, we developed an entire package of 450 programs, tested it thoroughly, and just sent it on a magnetic tape to our customer, College Town in the US, with instructions on how to run the package. No software engineer from PCS went with the tape from India to install the software and to take care of initial bugs. We were very proud when the entire set of 450 programs worked as per our requirements and the customer's requirements. That self-belief and that confidence came from the quality of our work at PCS. Curiosity is needed to try out new ideas whose outcomes you may not know. Our culture extols obedience, but it does not encourage curiosity. Our teachers in schools deliver monologues and admonish any student asking questions in the class. Curiosity must be developed in early years, both by parents and by early teachers. Without curiosity, we will not do experimentation. Without experimentation, we will not do great work and solve our grand challenges. We are a culture that avoids confrontation and unpleasantness. However, science is about seeking truth and engineering is about seeking improvement. Seeking truth and seeking improvement are both very painful processes. Progress brings joy to most people, but generally upsets a few who are incumbents or powerful and have vested interest in status quo. We feel uncomfortable to point out that things could be improved, even though we are fully convinced that the other person needs to improve. Unless we practice the adage, you can disagree with me if you are not disagreeable, progress in science and engineering becomes difficult. We are also a culture with probably the highest ego per unit of achievement. We find it difficult to accept that others could be better than us. We are reticent to applaud them. Being open-minded to learn from people and nations better than us is a necessary condition for our fast-paced progress. Our leaders in research institutions and in corporations have the responsibility to inculcate this important attribute amongst youngsters if we want to solve our grand challenges and redeem the pledge that our founding fathers took when fighting for our freedom. Friends, I can go on and on, but let me stop here. I wish the conference much success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. At the end of the inaugural function, may I request Professor Purnendu Ghosh, Vice President INAE, to please propose the vote of thanks.
Namaskar. Professor Indranil Manna, President INAE, Dr. P.S. Goel, former President INAE, Professor A.B. Pandit, Vice President INAE, Professor Suman Chakrabarti, Vice President INAE, Professor K. Bhanushankara Rao, Chief Editor of Publications INAE, esteemed fellows, young associates, awardees, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Professor Indranil Manna, President INAE, it is my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks at the end of the inaugural function of the INAE Annual Convention 2021, being held online for the second year due to the ongoing pandemic, COVID pandemic. At the outset, I express my deepest gratitude to the chief guest of the event, Mr. N.R. Narayanmurthy, for gracing the occasion and sparing his valuable time to deliver an inspiring inaugural address. His words of wisdom touched the hearts of young and old alike and inspired them in their future career paths. INAE is grateful to him for his contributions. On behalf of the INAE, it is my pleasant duty to thank Dr. P.S. Goel, former President INAE, who took time out from his busy schedule and joined us today for the release of his book. We are ever grateful to him for his continuous encouragement to the Academy. I express my sincere thanks to the members of the Annual Convention Organizing Committee, Professor Shivaji Chakrabarti, Professor Avinash Kumar Agrawal, Professor V.S. Murthy, Professor S. Gopal Krishnan, Mr. Pradeep Chaturvedi, Professor Liggy Phillips, and Professor Debatus Guho for their contributions in realizing of the event. The guidance provided by the INAE Apex Committee chaired by Professor Indranil Manna, President INAE, has been invaluable, and I thank each one of them profusely for their unique ideas and innovations that played a vital role in planning, organizing, and conduct of the events in the wake of innumerable challenges posed by the COVID pandemic. In terms of logistics, technical and administrative support, and other unforeseen exigencies that have arisen from time to time. The active support by INAE staff, headed by Lieutenant Colonel Sobhit Rai, retired Deputy Executive Director INAE, is appreciated, and their commitment in execution of the duty is placed on record. I thank all fellows, young associates, awardees and delegates for their participation in the inaugural function of the INAE Annual Convention 2021 and urge their participation in making the event memorable and a grand success. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, everyone. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us for the inaugural function. We shall now proceed for the grand award function at 12 noon. Please watch out your timer on your screens. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the grand award function of the INAE Annual Convention 2021, wherein various awards instituted by the Academy shall be conferred. In the first part of the grand award function, the INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award, Outstanding Teachers Award, Professor J. Krishna and Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Awards, and Lifetime Contribution Awards in Engineering 2021 shall be conferred. May I request Professor Indraneel Manna, President INAE, Professor Purnendu Ghosh, Vice President INAE, Professor A.B. Pandit, Vice President INAE, Professor Shivaji Chakrabarti, Vice President INAE, Professor K. Bhanu Sankara Rao, Chief Editor of Publications, and Lieutenant Colonel Shobhit Rai, retired, Deputy Executive Director INAE, to please come to the dais and take their seats. Kindly keep the applause going while they join me on the dais. A very warm welcome to all the esteemed dignitaries present on the dais. I request all of you to please be seated. May I request Professor Indraneel Manna, President INAE, to please deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon, Professor Ghosh, Professor Pandit, Professor Chakrabarti, the Vice Presidents of INAE, Professor K. Bhanushankar Rao, Chief Editor of Publications, esteemed former Presidents, Fellows of INAE, the awardees, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I welcome you all to the INAE Grand Award function. The ongoing pandemic probably caught us unaware and off guard about a year and a half ago. Thanks to the strict measures taken by the Government of India, the World Health Organization, and the vaccination drive, in particular in this country, we probably are now able to see the end of the tunnel. But the worst may be over, but not completely subsided. We have reasons to believe that very soon we'll hold the annual convention and this award ceremony physically, wherein we'll be able to hand over the awards in person. INAE undertakes a large number of meaningful technical activities and programs each year. And these activities place the Academy very high in engineering and technological interventions in this country. INAE honors stalwarts of engineering with Lifetime Contribution Award, Professor J. Krishna, Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Awards, Outstanding Teacher Awards, and Woman Engineer of the Year Award. INAE also confers Young Engineer Award, Young Innovator and Entrepreneur Award, and Innovative Student Project Award. Each of these awards conferred by INAE is unique and honor different kinds of contributions at different age groups. In this era of pandemic, the digital platform group of INAE has done a wonderful job in allowing us to maintain our regular activities throughout the year. And one of them is to be able to seek nominations for fellowship, for awards, and various other activities online. In addition to INAE digital platform team, I would also like to thank all those fellows and heads of the institutions who have taken the trouble to scout and nominate the most deserving candidates for these various coveted awards. Inae has been pursuing the agenda on gender parity very, very actively for the last couple of years. We believe in taking affirmative action policy, and we wish that very soon we'll be able to restore and maintain healthy gender parity proportion within the fellowship, awards, and other functions of Inae. One might ask a question as to why do we need awards? For two reasons. One is we would like to celebrate the outstanding achievements of our fellows and professionals in engineering profession, bask in their glory. And secondly, we'd also like to borrow inspiration from them, encourage the younger generation so that they can follow the path and replicate or even exceed the achievements of the peers. So we wish to celebrate, at the same time we wish to encourage. And in that respect, Inae actually caters to all age groups, typically 19 to 90. So we pick up engineering students who have just entered the education. We also identify stalwarts who have made a difference in the profession, and we award them the Lifetime Achievement Award. We have taken pains to identify the significant contributors, as I said, in all age groups, through various mechanisms and in multiple stages. So the selection has been very rigorous and without any bias. We are very happy that we received large number of deserving nominations, and we are even more happy to have been able to choose the most deserving candidates of them. As I said, we wish that very soon we'll be able to initiate our normal life, restore normalcy in all walks of life, including the engineering and technological profession. I would like to now congratulate every single awardee in this function who are going to receive the awards, convey our heartiest congratulations, and wish that all the fellows, foreign fellows, young associates, in particular the awardees of this function, they enjoy excellent health and pursue the profession of engineering to the best of their ability and make enormous contributions for the benefit of the society and profession. Let us all hope that the new year will open new horizons in terms of coming out of this dreadful pandemic and herald resuming the practices of regular interaction and meetings. Thank you very much. Let's look forward to seeing who the awardees this year are. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is now time for conferment of awards, which is the most anticipated event of today. We commence with the conferment of INAE Women Engineer Awards for the year 2021. As you may be aware, this award was instituted from the year 2020. It is awarded in all three categories of INAE, that is, academia, research and development, and industry. May I request Professor K. Bhanu Sankara Rao, Chief Editor of Publications, INAE, to please announce the names of the winners of the INAE Women Engineer of the Year Award 2021.
Esteemed fellows of INAE, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor for me to announce the prestigious INAE Women Engineer of the Year Awards 2021. I shall now read out the brief of this award. The Academy instituted an award to honor women engineers named as INAE Women Engineer of the Year Award from last year, that is 2020 onwards. The purpose of the award is to recognize and honor women engineers every year who have made outstanding contributions to engineering and technology in India and who will serve as role models. The award recognizes outstanding engineering contributions of women engineers of India who have made a significant difference, breakthrough innovation, and disruptive change in different fields of engineering, which have led to a major positive change and great improvement in the life of people in India. The subject award is to be bestowed on an individual only, and the nominations for the award should be nominated and seconded only by the fellows of the INAE. INAE will honor 3 women engineers between the age group of 40 to 60 years every year with this award, one from each of the 3 categories, that is academia, industry, and research and development. The award carries a cash award of rupees 2 lakhs and a citation. This year, 50 nominations were considered for the award. 23 are from academia, 16 are from industry, and 11 from R&D category. One award was recommended in each category, that is academia, R&D, and industry, as under. Professor Sarada Srinivasan of National Institute of Advanced Studies, that is known as NIAS, Bangalore, has been awarded in academia category. Srimati Madhumita Chakrabarti, Center for Millimeter Wave Semiconductor Devices and Systems, Calcutta, has been awarded in research and development category. Ms. Vartika Shukla, Engineers India Limited, New Delhi, in the industry category. I shall now read out the citations one by one. Professor Sarada Srinivasan, National Institute of Advanced Studies, has made outstanding research contributions in studying ancient metal artifacts, mining, extractive metallurgy, smelting, alloying, and artisanal metal crafts in India and Asia. She developed techniques of archaeometric characterization of copper alloy icons using lead isotope ratio, geochemistry, with spectrochemical, elemental, and trace element analysis for the classification of icons and determination of provenance, and covering the early use of leaded bronze, brass, and metallic zinc. She contributed to studies in geoarchaeology and mining heritage by exploring old mines and slag heaps related to copper, bronze, gold, and ferrous metallurgy, employing SEM and EPMA techniques. She undertook archaeometallurgical investigations to identify pre-industrial production landscapes for wood steel, whereby wrought iron was carburized to ultra-high carbon wood steel using crucible processes. Her book, India's Legendary Wood Steel, charted the trajectory of woods, the first high-grade steel made in antiquity, which was studied by Michael Faraday and spurred metallurgical developments leading up to the Industrial Revolution. It touched on the properties of UHCS as advanced materials such as superporosity and as nanomaterials. Her research identified rare intermetallic quenched martensitic beta high tin bronzes going back to South Indian megalithic sites, ranking amongst the earliest examples. Her ethnometallurgical studies of mirror crafts from Aramola in Kerala showed them to be of high Delta Branjalai. She has explored Harappan copper-based metallurgy. She has nearly 80 research publications. Professor Sarada Srinivasan is awarded INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award 2021 in recognition of her outstanding research into engineering applications and materials, characterization in studying the ancient and metal artifacts, mining, extractive metallurgy, smelting and alloying. I request Professor Indranil Manna, President, Indian National Academy of Engineering, to please confer the INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award 2021 on Professor Sarada Srinivasan.
On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I confer the Woman Engineer of the Year Award for the year 2021 on Professor Sarada Srinivasan.
I'm Professor Sarada Srinivasan from the National Institute of Advanced Studies here in Bangalore, and I'm delighted by this award of the Indian National Academy of Engineering of Women Engineer of the Year 2021 in academia. And it is indeed a very gratifying recognition for the decades of research that I have been undertaking in engineering applications and material characterization techniques in the study of ancient metal artifacts and archaeometallurgy, ancient mining and metallurgy, and looking at how modern scientific characterization techniques can throw insights on these aspects of ancient processes, production mechanisms, for example, for making high-grade steel, wood steel by crucible steel processes, and looking at the slag, debris, and other remnants to characterize the ways in which copper was being extracted in antiquity and so on. And I've also used fingerprinting techniques such as lead isotope ratio analysis based on ore geochemistry to try and identify the sources of ancient artifacts such as leaded bronzes and statuary bronzes and icons and so on. So it is a rather offbeat area of study, and it is very gratifying when it gets this kind of mainstream recognition, and it also encourages other generations of researchers in these areas. And of course, I'm also very gratified by the recognition for women in STEM and for women in engineering, since I began my journey with doing engineering physics at IIT. So thank you so much.
The next citation for the INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award is in the Research and Development category. Srimati Madhumita Chakrabarti, Director, CMSDS, DRDO, has made outstanding contributions towards the development and success of India's air defense program. She has been working for DRDO, that is RCI in Hyderabad, in different capacities, and has played a major role in the design and development of the radio proximity fuse, which is known as RPF system, against airborne targets for use in surface to air, air to air, and BMD class of weapon systems. She was involved in the design and led the project from inception to completion, leading to the production of RPF systems. The innovative endgame algorithm developed by her to meet the engagement scenario of maneuvering as well as ballistic targets shows competitive state-of-the-art performance in this field. Towards her vision of a complete indigenization of the system, she designed and developed RF multifunction MMICs, monolithic, which are known as monolithic microwave integrated circuits. Her research includes enhancing range resolution using oversampling techniques for generation of RD maps and using ambiguity diagrams for target detection with a processing time of a few microseconds to match the speed of the target. The systems have been qualified for extreme dynamic and climatic conditions to meet the requirements of Indian Air Force and Indian Army. The reliability of the system designed by her is around 99.96%. Her system is being inducted in most of the air defense weapon systems developed by DRDO. Sri Madhumati Chakrabarti is awarded the INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award for the year 2021 for her outstanding contributions towards the development and success of Indian air defense systems. I request Professor Indranil Manna, President, Indian National Academy of Engineering, to please confer the INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award for the year 2021 on Srimati Madhumita Chakrabarti.
On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I confer the Woman Engineer of the Year Award for the year 2021 on Srimati Madhumita Chakrabarti.
Good morning. President, Indian National Academy of Engineers, Professor Indranil Manna, Vice Presidents of INAE, the distinguished fellows of INAE, ladies and gentlemen. I really feel humbled and honored to accept this award. Today is a very special day for me. It is an important and momentous occasion of my life. I convey my sincere thanks to the Director RCI and the Director DRDL for nominating my candidature from DRDO. My sincere thanks to Award Committee of INAE and all the people who are instrumental in bestowing me with this honor. It is really a huge honor for me. I really feel lucky that I could work in DRDO. There was never a limit in technical resources in DRDO, be it for design and simulation, for multiple fabrication, or for evaluating the performance of the system. The production and delivery of the systems would not have been possible without the strong support of my seniors, my project directors, and my colleagues. I have deepest respect for them, from whom I have derived my strength and I could challenge myself. Finally, I would like to thank my family, without whose support it would not have been possible. I would like to thank my husband for the moral support he has provided me during my ups and downs. I would like to thank my parents for giving me the opportunity for whatever I am today. I would like to thank my daughters and my mother-in-law for supporting me and allowing me to pursue my career. Thank you all.
The final awardee for the INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award is in the industry category. Mrs. Vartika Shukla is CMD of Engineers India Limited, which is known as EIL. She is also holding additional charge of Director Technical and Director Finance of the company. An engineering graduate from IIT Kanpur, she is also certified with an Executive General Management program from IIM Lucknow. Mrs. Shukla started her career as a management trainee in EIL's Process Design and Development Division in the year 1988. She has been associated with various functions of the organization during her vast career. She has been closely associated with developing in-house competencies and strategizing for new business opportunities, both in the core hydrocarbon sector and in diversified areas of operations. She has played a key role in several new initiatives of the company in the areas of biofuels, digitization, energy efficiency, Make in India, and Startup India, and was instrumental in forging several key collaborative partnerships for expansion of EIL's technology portfolio. She has also made an immense contribution to the development of national policies, especially in the area of biofuels and future roadmap for the refining and petrochemical sectors. Mrs. Shukla is an active member of various industry forums like FIPI, CII, FICCI, and has served on the editorial board of FIPI journal as well. She has also authored a number of research papers suggesting strategies and technical solutions to the oil and gas industry. She is also the recipient of various prestigious national and international awards. She was the first woman executive in the Indian oil and gas industry to be bestowed with Petrofed Woman Executive Award. She is also a recipient of the Scope Excellence Award and MOPNG Innovation Award, to name a few. Recently, she has been conferred with the Distinguished Alumnus Award by IIT Kanpur in recognition of her stellar contributions in the field of chemical engineering and technology. Mrs. Vartika Shukla is awarded the INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award for the year 2021 for her outstanding contributions towards the growth of the Indian industry in general, oil and gas industry in particular. I request Professor Indranil Manna, President, Indian National Academy of Engineering, to please confer the INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award for the year 2021 on Ms. Vartika Shukla.
On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I confer the Woman Engineer of the Year Award for the year 2021 on Ms. Vartika Shukla.
With immense pride and pleasure, I sincerely thank the Indian National Academy of Engineering for conferring the Woman Engineer of the Year Award for the year 2021. I am humbled to be among the midst of such accomplished women who have received the award before me. I am privileged to be receiving this prestigious award, and I hope that I will be able to contribute to the best of my abilities in the field of engineering and technology, both development and deployment in the years to come, to contribute to the growth of our nation. I thank Dr. Prasada Rao for steering this for me, and also am immensely grateful for the jury to have recognized and given me this prestigious award. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I now invite Professor A.B. Pandit, Vice President, INAE, to announce the names of the winners of the INAE Outstanding Teachers Award 2021.
Good afternoon, President, Vice President, and esteemed fellows of INAE, ladies and gentlemen. Before declaring the names, I shall give you a brief on INAE Outstanding Teachers Award 2021. The Academy instituted Outstanding Teachers Awards in the year 2013 to honor engineering teachers who have excelled in the field of teaching in Indian colleges, universities, institutions, and have provided guidance towards technology development and have inspired students to take up careers in engineering and technology. There will be maximum of 2 such awards per year. One award will cover the disciplines of civil engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, aerospace engineering, and mining, metallurgy, and materials engineering. The other award will cover the engineering fields of computer engineering and information and technology, electrical engineering, electronics and communication engineering, energy, and interdisciplinary and spatial engineering fields and leadership qualities. The Outstanding Teacher Awards for the year 2021 are: first, Professor Suman Chakrabarti, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. Let me read out the citation. Professor Suman Chakrabarti, Professor in the Mechanical Engineering Department, IIT Kharagpur, and Sir J.C. Bose National Fellow of DST, completed his undergraduate studies from Yadav University and Masters and PhD from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. His teaching career started in Yadav University. In August 2002, he joined IIT Kharagpur as assistant professor, where he has continued his service in different portfolios, including his earlier position as a head of School of Medical Sciences and Technology, Institute Chair Professor, Inae Chair Professor, and present assignment as a Dean of Sponsored Research and Industrial Consultancy. His current areas of research include microfluidics, nanofluidics, microchannel transport, with particular focus on biomedical applications. Professor Chakrabarti was awarded with the prestigious Shantisura Bhatnagar Prize in the Engineering Sciences in the year 2013. He was elected as a Fellow of American Physical Society, Fellow of Royal Society of Chemistry, Fellow of American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Fellow of all the National Academies of Sciences and Engineering. He is a recipient of the National Academy of Sciences India Reliance Platinum Jubilee Award for the Application-Oriented Research, G.D. Birla Award for Scientific Research, Indo-US Research Fellowship, Scopus Young Scientist Award for the high citation in the research in scientific and technical journals, and Young Scientist / Young Engineer Awards from various National Academies of Science and Engineering. He has also been Alexander von Humboldt Fellow and a visiting professor at various leading universities abroad. He has a large volume of impactful publications in top international journals with high citations and a unique expertise in technology development for the underserved population and community health care. Throughout his teaching and research career, spanning over a couple of decades, he has offered extremely popular open access online courses that are widely acclaimed all across the globe. Professor Suman Chakrabarti is awarded Indian National Academy of Engineering Outstanding Teachers Award for the year 2021 in recognition of his all-round contribution to teaching and research in the area of mechanical engineering and its interdisciplinary applications, for being an exceptional role model towards motivating a new generation of students and young researchers as a figure of iconic inspiration. I request the President, Professor Indranil Manna, to please confer the Inae Outstanding Teachers Award for the year 2021 on Professor Suman Chakrabarti.
On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I confer the Outstanding Teachers Award for the year 2021 on Professor Suman Chakrabarti.
is a great pleasure and honor on my part to be a humble recipient of this Inae Outstanding Teacher Award. Over this period, I have evolved as a teacher and of course as a researcher, but I can always tell that when I started my career, my objective, of course being inspired by my own great teachers, was always to be a good teacher. At that time, I did not want to be actually beyond something which can be defined outside the ambit of a good teacher. So whatever I have achieved in this time, by the grace of all well-wishers, Almighty, and of course supports of so many people, starting from my teachers to my students, what I have at the end realized that perhaps this has been the most cherishing award from my side, because fundamentally I wanted to be a good teacher. Still I want to be a good teacher. I am trying to learn to be a better teacher, and this is a recognition from the highest academy of engineering of the country. Is a great recognition and a booster for me. Thank you, Inae, for recognizing me, and again I am expressing my sincere gratitude for conferring me to this prestigious Outstanding Teacher Award.
The award in the second category is given to Professor Sukumar Mishra of Indian Institute of Technology, New Delhi. Professor Sukumar Mishra, Associate Dean R&D at IIT Delhi, holds BSc Engineering, ME and PhD degrees in Electrical Engineering from Sambalpur University, Odisha. He has taught at University College of Engineering, Burla, now VSS UT, for over 11 years and continuing as a professor at IIT Delhi since last 18 years. Based on his research during the period, he has been honored with Young Scientist Award of Odisha Vigyan Academy, INSA Medal for Young Scientist, Inae Young Engineer Award, Inae Silver Jubilee Young Engineer Award, the Samanta Chandra Sekhar Award by Odisha Vigyan Academy and Science, Nasi Reliance Platinum Jubilee Award. He has also been conferred with Inae Industry Academic Distinguished Professor and Inae Chair Professorship. Throughout his entire teaching and research career, spanning over more than 3 decades, Professor Mishra's teaching has been based on 2 beliefs, namely, guiding self-learning is the key to the success of the student, and each student needs to be given a chance to explore their inherent potential. His way of teaching has always been to excite the students so as to ignite their imagination. Throughout his career, he has been endeavoring to do just that. He is overwhelmed by the love and affection shown to him by his many students, and this he considers his biggest achievement and award as a teacher. Professor Sukumar Mishra is awarded the Inae Outstanding Teacher Award for the year 2001 in recognition of his outstanding contributions to teaching and research in the area of electrical engineering and for mentoring students in innovation and research activities. I request the President, Professor Indranil Manna, to confer Inae Outstanding Teachers Award for the year 2021 on Professor Sukumar Mishra.
On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I confer the Outstanding Teachers Award for the year 2021 on Professor Sukumar Mishra.
Thank you, President. It is my honor and privilege to accept the Outstanding Teacher Award of Indian National Academy of Engineering. I would like to thank IIT Delhi for providing me with all the research and teaching infrastructure. The credit of this award also goes to my students, as without their cutting-edge research, it would not have been possible. Further, I would like to thank my family, my wife, my children, and my parents for always supporting me and believing in me. I cannot express the happiness I feel upon being given this award. Before anything, we are teachers, and there is no greater honor than winning an award like this, the Outstanding Teacher Award, by such a prestigious institute. My students have been a source of inspiration to me. They make me push my limits to improve more and more in all respect of teaching and research. My career is not self-built. My wife and my family have an immense contribution to it too. Over the years, my wife has pushed me relentlessly to achieve the most I can. She told me to advance my career and take all the opportunity that came my way. My children would wait for me to return home after a long day at work just to spend some time with me. They would sit and learn about my day, my line of work, and those moments I look forward to always. My parents supported me, my dreams, and my education. And this reward is a moment of pride, not just for me, but for them as well. With everybody's help, I have been able to deliver my best today. I would like to end by saying that I will strive to give my best for the years to come.
Thank you so much, sir. I now invite Professor Purnendu Ghosh, Vice President, INAE, to announce the names of the winners of Professor Jai Krishna and Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Awards 2021.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasant duty to announce the names of the winners of Professor Jai Krishna and Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Award 2021. Professor Jai Krishna and Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Awards. Professor Jai Krishna and Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Awards are given to an eminent engineer, scientist, or technologist for academic and scholarly achievements in any discipline of technology, outstanding research in engineering and technology and application thereof, outstanding contributions in the management of education and research in engineering, outstanding achievements and contributions in the industry, engineering services or engineering projects. Professor Jai Krishna Award shall be given each year in the disciplines of Engineering Section 1, Civil Engineering, Engineering Section 3, Mechanical Engineering, Engineering Section 4, Chemical Engineering, Engineering Section 7, Aerospace Engineering, and Engineering Section 8, Mining, Metallurgy and Materials Engineering. Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Award shall be given each year in the disciplines of Engineering Section 2, Computer Engineering Information Technology, Engineering Section 5, Electrical Engineering, Engineering Section 6, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Engineering Section 9, Energy Engineering, and Engineering Section 10, Interdisciplinary and Special Engineering Fields and Leadership in Academia, R&D and Industry. The awardee for the current year for Professor Jai Krishna Memorial Award 2021 is Professor G.D. Yadav, Emeritus Professor of MNS and J.C. Bose National Fellow, former Vice Chancellor of and R.T. Modi Distinguished Professor and Tata Chemical Darbhai Seth Distinguished Professor of Leadership and Innovation, Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. The awardee for the current year for Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Award 2021 is Professor Surendra Prasad, Department of Electrical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. I shall now read the citation of the award winners of Professor Jai Krishna Memorial Award for the year 2021. Professor Ganpati D. Yadav is one of highly prolific engineering scientists in India who internationally recognized as an academician, researcher, innovator, including his seminal contributions to education, research and innovation in green chemistry and engineering catalysis, chemical engineering, energy engineering, biotechnology, nanotechnology and development of clean and green technologies. He has personally won over 125 national and international honors awards, fellowships, editorship and several lifetime achievement awards. For over 10 years, he has served as the founding Vice Chancellor and R.T. Modi Distinguished Professor and Tata Chemicals Darbhai Seth Distinguished Professor of Leadership and Innovation at the Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. He currently holds the titles of Emeritus Professor of Eminence and J.C. Bose National Fellow in ICT, Adjunct Professor at University of Saskatchewan, Canada, RMIT University, Melbourne, Co-Joint Professor, University of Newcastle, Australia. He was conferred Padma Shri in 2016 and received DSc honorary causa, DYPU and D Engineering honorary causa, NIT Agartala. His research productivity is phenomenal. Supervision of 104 doctoral and 135 master's theses, 45 postdoctoral fellows, 115 granted national and PCT patents, 3 books, H index of 163, I-10 index of 314, 14,600 plus citations, and 825 plus special lectures, orations, seminars. He is an elected fellow of Indian National Science Academy, Indian Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Sciences, India, Indian National Academy of Engineering, as well as the Third World Academy of Sciences, TRIST. He is a fellow of Royal Society of Chemistry, UK, Institution of Chemical Engineers, UK, Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers, Indian Chemical Society, and Indian Society of Technical Education, among others. He is currently the President of Indian Chemical Society and Editor-in-Chief of Journal of the ICS being published by Elsevier. He is the Founder President ACS India International Chapter. He is an editorial board of prestigious journals. He serves as Independent Director on 5 renowned limited companies: Aarti Industries Limited, Godrej Industries Limited, Meghmani Organics Limited, and Bhagairia Chemicals Limited, and Clean Science and Technology Limited. He is still actively involved in guiding doctoral students, but patenting, publishing, consulting, and transferring technologies to industry. Professor G.D. Yadav is awarded the Professor Jai Krishna Memorial Award for the year 2021 in recognition of his outstanding multifarious research contributions in the field of green chemistry and engineering, catalysis, chemical engineering, energy engineering, biotechnology, nanotechnology, and development of clean and green technology. I request Professor Indranil Manna, President INAE, to please confer the Professor Jai Krishna Memorial Award for the year 2021 on Professor G.D. Yadav.
On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I confer the Professor Jai Krishna Memorial Award for the year 2021 on Professor G.D. Yadav.
lucky person to have been considered for this award of Professor Jai Krishna Memorial Lecture by the Indian National Academy of Engineering. I consider myself fortunate because I have worked in so many different areas over the years that you cannot imagine what sort of problems I have handled. On one hand, I have handled problems dealing with chemistry, chemical engineering, chemical technology, petroleum engineering, image processing, energy engineering, biotechnology, and I have intertwined all these problems. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of story and thank my colleagues over the years who have been associated with me. So one of the things which I chose for my research has been multi-phase processes, multi-phase reactions, multi-phase reactors, catalysis, green chemistry, green engineering, process intensification, name it. So I'm very comfortable with chemistry. I'm very comfortable with chemical engineering. I'm very comfortable with, energy engineering and biotechnology. So that versatility I obtained with a single theme. And what was the theme? The theme was enhancement of rates and selectivities in either single or multi-phase reactions. I did a lot of modeling also. So on one hand, I also showed that you can have an inert particle, put it in a single system, make multiple systems. One of them may be continuous, another may be dispersed. Something will be micro or nanoparticle, and still you can enhance the rates of reactions and selectivities. This was a patentable idea. I did not patent it, but some international company, made use of it in their patents. They gave credit to me. So I also had a, combination of energy like ultrasound, microwaves and all. And not to be forgotten, catalysis. So on the basis of this flow through porous media, multi-phase systems, I went to catalysis. So I have dealt with problems where I wanted to excavate or get more oil from depleted reservoirs. On the other hand, I wanted to have better catalyst so that we can have, less, wastage of material and energy. So this is where chemical, in the case of chemical, inorganic, organic, organometallics, and metals and biocatalysis, microbes, name it, and all this synergism has been shown. So what was the end product of that? I had a very interesting journey. Okay, so far I have produced 107 PhDs. I've got 113 granted patents, master's students 135. Postdoctoral fellows 45, several summer fellows, and I have, to my credit, 491 papers. And several processes have been commercialized by the industry. And that list is very long. So at the outset, I want to thank all my colleagues, who worked with me in my laboratory. And during my younger days, I used to be with them till midnight, post-midnight. And my wife and kids allowed me to do that. So I must thank them at the very, first, that they allowed me to be away from home. And in fact, my wife told me, you concentrate on your career and she will handle the kids. And all these students, because of whom I got so many hours in my life, more than 125, and I'm indebted to all of them.
I shall now read the citation of the award winner of Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Award for the year 2021, Professor Surendra Prasad. Professor Surendra Prasad received his education from IIT Kharagpur and IIT Delhi. He joined IIT Delhi as a faculty member in 1971, eventually served as its director from 2005 to 2011. Professor Prasad's research spanning nearly 50 years is concerned with the development of new techniques and algorithms for signal processing, many of fundamental importance and cited well in the literature. He has made pioneering contributions in indigenous R&D through execution of advanced projects in signal processing and digital communications. He played a leading role in setting up the Bharati School of Telecom Technology and Management and the School of Biological Sciences at IIT Delhi through generous private endowments. Professor Prasad has been the recipient of a large number of awards and recognitions, including the Santi Swarup Bhatnagar Prize, and is a distinguished alumnus of IIT Kharagpur. He has served on the governing bodies of several leading institutions As chairman NBA, he was responsible for securing membership of the Washington Accord and advancing accreditation and ranking systems in the country. Professor Surendra Prasad is awarded the Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Award for the year 2021 in recognition of his outstanding contributions in the field of engineering, especially as a teacher, mentor, researcher, academic administrator, and accreditor. I request Professor Indranil Manna, President INAE, to please confer the Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Award for the year 2021 on Professor Surendra Prasad.
On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I confer the Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Award for the year 2021 on Professor Surendra Prasad.
President of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, Fellows of the Academy, and friends. A very good morning to all of you. I'm deeply indebted to the Council of the INAE for honoring me with the Professor S.N. Mitra Memorial Award for the year 2021. Personally, I believe that at this stage in my life, what matters more is the satisfaction of having done a few things well, and that award serves the purpose better when used to encourage younger people. It is nevertheless a matter of happiness that a premier body like the INAE has recognized my humble efforts, and I am thankful to the Academy for that. Occasions like these are also moments of expressing gratitude to the people who have made a difference to your lives and voted you on despite the challenges that come sometimes. I will like to dedicate this award to all my teachers, especially Professors N.B. Chakrabarti, S.L. Maskara, late Professor G.S. Sanyal, late Professor B. Das, and late Professor M.N. Farooqi, all of IIT Kharagpur, Professor Datta Rai, Professor Satsangi, late Professors Indireshan and Mahalanavis of IIT Delhi, to my co-workers and colleagues at IIT Delhi who provided me with a wonderful ambience to attempt a variety of innovative experiments for the benefit of the academic community. To my fellow academics and peers who bestowed their confidence and respect. And to my students who have worked diligently and sincerely tried to deliver good research and provided me with the motivation to strive on. Last but not the least, my late parents provided me with a motivation and value system to care and work for the well-being of all, for which I will always remain grateful. And my wife and family were a source of solid support that comes from quiet sacrifice. There are many more than I can count who have made a huge difference to my life and work. I'm convinced that much of what one achieves in life is a result of people and conditions coming together. It would be quite presumptuous on my part to think that I have been behind it all. I bow my head in gratitude to all who have supported me silently or otherwise in my work and in my personal life. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I am now delighted to invite Professor Shivaji Chakrabarti, Vice President INAE, to announce the names of the winners of the INAE Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering 2021.
Good afternoon and warm greetings. With great pride, I shall announce the names of the winners of the Inae Lifetime Contribution in Engineering 2021. Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering is the highest recognition from Inae and is given every year to two eminent Indian citizens who have made most distinguished contribution in the field of engineering, engineering research, engineering education, technology, as well as engineering management, which has brought prestige to the nation and are regarded as landmarks of technological development of the country. The awardees of Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering 2021 are Mr. Senapati Chris Gopalakrishnan, co-founder Infosys and chairman Axelar Ventures. Professor M.S. Anant, Emeritus Research Fellow, Department of Chemical Engineering, IIT Madras, and former Director, IIT Madras. It is my privilege to read out the respective citations. Firstly, I shall read the citation for Mr. Senapati Chris Gopalakrishnan. Mr. Senapati Chris Gopalakrishnan is the chairman of Axelar Ventures, an early stage accelerator and venture fund, and co-founder and former CEO of Infosys Limited. He is one of the pioneers in the information technology industry and has been part of the leadership that built the IT industry in India over the last 40 years. Infosys pioneered the global delivery model for digital services delivery, built a model to create IT professionals in the country through education and training by industry, adopted and promoted the use of world-class quality systems and governance processes such that Infosys and the IT industry are considered role models of world-class industries from India. Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan created Itihasa Research and Digital, which published the history of Indian IT industry as itihasa.com and continues to document industrial and academic research in India. He supports research in brain sciences at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore and IIT Madras, and has set up the Center for Brain Research at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Chris has set up several organizations that support innovation and entrepreneurship, including the CII Center for Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startups, in short CIES, in Hyderabad. He was elected President of India's Apex Industry Chamber, namely Confederation of Indian Industry or CII for 2013-2014, and served as one of the co-chairs of the World Economic Forum in Davos in January 2014. In January 2011, the Government of India awarded Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan the Padma Bhushan, the country's third highest civilian honor. Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan is awarded the INAE Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering for the year 2021 in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the growth of information technology industry as a supporter of world-class research, innovation and entrepreneurship in the country. May I now request Professor Indranil Manna, President INAE, to please confer the INAE Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering for the year 2021 on Mr. Shanapati Chris Gopalakrishnan.
On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I confer the Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering for the year 2021 on Mr. Shanapati Chris Gopalakrishnan.
I humbly accept the INAE Lifetime Contribution Award 2021 and thank the leadership at INAE for giving me this recognition. It's an honor and privilege to receive this along with Professor Anand, whom I know and respect a lot. This recognition will inspire me to continue my support for research, innovation, and entrepreneurship in India. On this occasion, I thank my teachers at IIT Madras, University College Thiruvananthapuram, and Model School Thiruvananthapuram, where all I studied. I thank the co-founders of Infosys and all the employees at Infosys who supported our efforts in building a world-class IT services business in India. I remember my parents on this occasion who are no more, who would have been proud to see me getting this recognition, and my wife and daughter for their support to me all these years as I built my career.
It is also my proud privilege to read the citation for Professor M.S. Anand. Professor M.S. Anand was the director of IIT Madras between 2001 to 2011 and made several landmark contributions. He conceptualized and created the IIT Madras Research Park, the first university-based research park in India. He is the primary architect of the Open Courseware project, the National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, in short NPTEL. He is the only Vice Chancellor from India to have been invited to participate in the World Economic Forum from 2007 to 2011. In December 2011, the journal I&EC Research of USA published the Anand Festschrift issue in his honor. He revitalized the alumni network, raising over rupees 50 crores in donations. The alumni have instituted a rupees 5 crore endowment in his name. Professor Anand graduated from the AC College of Technology in 1967 with a gold medal in chemical engineering and obtained his PhD from the University of Florida in 1972. In IIT Madras, he was consistently rated an excellent teacher and has won several research awards, including Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers Hardelia Prize and the R.W. Fahian Alumni Award of the University of Florida, USA. He is Fellow of Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers and Indian National Academy of Engineering. He was member of both the SACC and the NMCC from 2007 to 2011. He has been a visiting professor in IIT Kanpur, IIT Bangalore, IIT Bombay, Princeton University, University of Colorado, and RWTH Aachen. Professor M.S. Anand is awarded the INAE Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering for the year 2021 in recognition of his outstanding contributions as an institution builder and academician and seminal contributions to the growth of engineering education in the country. I now request Professor Indranil Manna, President Inae, to please confer the Inae Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering for the year 2021 on Professor M.S. Anand.
On behalf of Indian National Academy of Engineering, I confer the Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering for the year 2021 on Professor M.S. Anand.
I'm grateful to the President INAE and the members of the selection committee for choosing me as a recipient of this year's Lifetime Contribution Award in Engineering. There are many co-workers that I have to thank with regard to my major contributions in 4 areas: research, teaching, IIT Madras including Research Park and NPTEL. Let me do so briefly. For most of my professional life, I worked in IIT Madras. My most valuable research contribution has been in the area of thermodynamics of electrolyte solutions. As for teaching, I added courses to and have at one time or another taught nearly all the courses in the chemical engineering curriculum. I was considered a very good teacher, and I was finally Director at IIT Madras from 2001 to 2011. I am grateful to all my colleagues for their continuous support and to my students for making my job so enjoyable. It was clear to me as early as 1999 that a research park was a prerequisite to tap our innovativeness in collaboration with the industry. It took 9 years of effort to create the 450 crore IIT Madras Research Park. India needs 100 such research parks, but now has a model to duplicate. I thank the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Education, the Government of Tamil Nadu, the Planning Commission, and IITM faculty and alumni for their wholehearted support in this matter. According to UN reports in 2000, India needed a minimum GER, which is gross enrollment ratio in higher education, of 30% in order to benefit from participation in the global economy. India's GER was then 15%, and the only way to reach 30% was through online education, exploiting the developments in ICT. Therefore, I submitted a proposal in 2000 on the National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, NPTEL for short. I submitted this proposal to MOE for funding. The funding came in 2003. I thank the members of the organizing committee from the old 7 IITs and IISc and all the faculty from these institutions for their support in making this program a success. I also thank the fellow directors for their cooperation in this matter, and for the Ministry of Education for funding and supporting the project. I also want to thank my friend Professor Narayanan for nominating me for this award, and INAE once again for recognizing my lifelong efforts through this award. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now take a break and rejoin at 2:15 p.m. The grand award ceremony shall recommence after the break, wherein Innovative Student Projects Award at doctoral, master's and bachelor's level, Youth Conclave Competition Prizes, Young Engineer Award and Young Innovator and Entrepreneur Award shall be presented. During the break, we shall be showcasing history of INAE since inception in pictures. Please take time out to enjoy this visual delight and be part of the journey. Thank you.